the reason I have what you want. Now, you may question how I know what you want, but I do, because I'm assuming that you're a human being. And so if you're human, that means that you want to have a life where you're happy, successful, prosperous, abundant, and letting go of any kind of fear. You want to have self-confidence. You want to have a higher level of self-esteem. You want to be noticed. You want to be approved of. You want all of those things because you want to know that your life mattered. You want to know that you had a purpose. You wanted to know that you had a reason for being in the world, and that's what I have. But you may question, well, how do I know that I have that? Well, I do. And it's in my program. This is why I guarantee it. I say you're going to have this because I know it's there. And the reason I say that, it's because it's your authentic self. You see, because when you come to that place, you will have everything that you want. All the problems that you have will start to magically just kind of shift away because you'll be doing what you came to the world to do. And I'm saying that because I know that every single person was given something within them that they're meant to do, that they could bring to the world. But we don't always accept that, and we don't always believe it. I didn't, which is why I have what you want now. Because we're moving through a different time in our world. And my coaching has taken on a different time, which is why I'm calling it Life Coaching for a New World, because it's going to be different. Nothing that we are seeing is going to be the same. And I knew this because I received information. I've been channeling since 1988, but before that I did many other things. I've done more than 40 years of personal development work, so I know that I have what you want. But the particular thing that I did was channel information that came from the cosmos, from the spirit, however you think of it, but it was real information, and even today that happened. And if you look at my site, Any Advice for Today, you will see that the message that came through this morning was talking about control, because we need to have that, you see, and the control is in our minds, it's in our thinking. That's the only place it exists. And I was given that information this morning because they said you would be seeing certain things in the world that might cause us concern. And we just did. We just saw that Russia, we believe, nobody knows yet because we're all on edge, you see. Nobody knows if they actually did this intentionally or if it was an accident, but it went into Poland, a bomb. Something went into Poland and killed 2 people. And so now we're going to find someone to blame for that. We have to, because we're moving through a change in our civilization. This is why you may be a little unnerved or frightened. However, if you're working on becoming your authentic self, you'll move beyond all of that. Now, I knew that these changes were coming many years ago, and this is why I started shifting my coaching. I started shifting my direction. Many people knew me as a vocal coach and many other businesses that I did before, but in 2016, I said something's changing, and I'm getting ready for it. And so I went back to my writings, my Any Advice writings, to see some of the issues, some of the things that we dealt with. Because see, this is what's in my work. We go through everything to get you to this place where you're just in love with yourself because you've let go of your restrictions and your limitations. But see, I had to go through that first. I had to create all of this. I had to write all of this. I had to download this philosophy, which is called Your Life Operating Instructions. That's what I was given. But the essence of it is this, that every person is born to be something magnificent, and the only thing that stops us is our thinking. That's it. So we have to go through a process because we have to use our human minds to understand this. And I love the term now that we have neurodiversity, because see, I'm so glad that term was invented, because we understand that we do not all think in the same way. We were never supposed to. We were supposed to be ourselves. But accepting that at times is challenging. It was difficult for me to accept that I received this information. I kept testing it, I kept doubting it, and I kept putting it through, but I can no longer do that because I know where we're going and how important it is now for you to become successful and happy. It's energetic, you see. We change things energetically. We create the world that way. Science is telling us that now. You can study all of that to see the evidence of that. But I know that for me, my contribution will be causing as many people as I can possibly reach to become the best person they could be, to become happy, successful, abundant is really important as well, and to move through all of their old restrictions and limitations because they're from your ancestors. They're generational. We're supposed to move through them. This is how evolution happens and why we live in a world today that looks very different than it did hundreds of years ago. But we're still in a major process right now, and it's going to go on for a little longer, just so you know. But if we do our work, meaning becoming who we're meant to be, it'll be so much better. The world will be better. But I did this today. I went to look at, I said, well, I started doing this in 2016. I said, what things were I'm writing about? Because every day, I've done this every day for more than 34 years, where I sit down and I just get this information. So it's been a lot. But here are a few of the things. Unconvince yourself. This is the information that I get, because we convince ourselves that we can't do something. We convince ourselves that we're not the person who could achieve something. I tried to convince myself that I wasn't the person who received this information, but I obviously did. I even tested it with a bunch of people and it worked, so I obviously did. But I couldn't get to that place, that cognitive acceptance that, yeah, it was me. Same thing with you. But this is why I do the work. And then the next one, believe in yourself. We hear that all the time, but we have to understand it's a process, you see. You have to do something. It's not just sitting around and watching videos or doing something. It's actually doing the work and getting in touch with who you are. And that's why in my work, I have you write a lot, because it permeates your old thinking to get to the essence of who you are. On the next one, you were not ready. That was one I was given because it talked about the times that we will beat ourselves up because we didn't move on sometimes. We procrastinated. We weren't ready. And the way we get ready is by changing our minds, but it takes time. We have to do something consistently. This is why morning routines are so important. You're changing your mind all the time. I've done it every single day. That's why I know that this works. What else? Oh, start here. That was another one I would receive all the time because I would work on something and then I said, it's not quite right. And I said, now I understand more, so now I'm going to change. But then we will beat ourselves up because we make that choice. No. We're supposed to make that choice because our awareness has opened up to something much more. And so, yeah, we're going to do it again, and it's going to be much better because we're bringing in wisdom that we've acquired through our tries from before. Let's see. Your best work. This was a great one. Your best work is yet to come. That is for every single person. I looked at that and I thought, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because I've done so many other things before, but now this is turning out to be my best work. And I know that there's going to be more. We evolve. As long as we're in physical bodies, as long as we're alive, we're going to continually evolve. But we may not take the steps to go to that next level of our awareness of our existence. And so it never matters. I know a lot of people think it's because of how much money, or none of that ever matters. There's something else within you that you know that you are unfulfilled because you haven't reached that place yet. That's the only reason. Value and integrity. That means that we always have, everybody has value. Just from being alive, you have value. And as you live your life, you have experiences. And the integrity of your life means that there was something that was planned for you. I call it your divine plan, that was planned for you to have these experiences so that you could gain information and knowledge so that you could use it to make your life better and then help other people. That's evolution. Let's see, darkness and light. Wow, we don't like that one because we're going through it right now. We're looking at the world and we're seeing darkness and light. And the point was, yes, it always exists. It exists in our society and it exists within us. And so when we're able to look at the darkness, the judgments that we've had on ourselves, and start to move those away, start to step over them, then we have the light. We see the light of who we are. And that's the process that we're in currently, and also the world. This is why the world is a little chaotic at the moment. Visualizations, that was a wonderful. Thinking about visualizations, our imagination, because we create through our mind. So the more time that we would take to visualize what we want in terms of our lives and the world, we're going to bring it about. But it takes more of us doing that. It's a collective thing that happens if we're going to make a difference in our world. But it starts with each individual deciding that they're going to be who they're meant to be in this world. Let's see, guided and protected. That was one that said you're always guided and protected. We all are. We go to church to try to believe that. We do all kinds of other things to attempt to believe that. But it again is a process that we have to just keep working with our minds to say, yes, I was given something. I'm here for a reason. Every single person. The Good Journal. That was a wonderful one. They had me make a good journal because I would forget all the stuff that I'd done. I'd forget, and this is what I have my clients do as well, because we forget what we've accomplished. And so then our brains can't hold our value because we don't remember all the good work that we've done. We're only focusing on what we haven't done, what we thought we failed at, what we screwed up, all of that. And then we don't do anything else. And this is why you wonder why you procrastinate, why you can't get anything done. Because you haven't worked through those mental processes that will allow you to understand why you had the experiences you did and how valuable they are to you now. This other one, becoming honest. Wow, that was challenging. Becoming honest means that you sit and you think and you have intuition, you hear things coming to you, and you can't acknowledge it. You won't even say it to yourself or anyone else because you said, no, I couldn't possibly do that. Can't be me. There's something wrong with me, so I'm not going to even talk about it to other people. I'm not going to even allow myself to see how I've been judging myself. That's really about becoming honest. And then worst critic. Got to remember that. We are our worst critics. You've heard that many times. But we are. Because that is, we know that there's more for us to do. So yeah, there's many other things involved with that, but typically it's because there's more for us to do, and so we're going to judge ourselves, but you can't allow the critic to stop you. And you have to understand that balance to know that you're going to judge yourself, but then you have to also move. Otherwise, you stay stuck for a really, really long time. Rejection. That was a big one. When you are fearing rejection, you can't do anything. And when you become your authentic self, you don't care about rejection because you know your value, you see? But most times we're afraid to do anything because we're going to be rejected. Somebody's not going to believe us. They're going to think we're a little nuts, whatever it might be. But we are the ones who are rejecting ourselves. The other one that came through in this time too, I see, was the imposter syndrome. There is no imposter syndrome. It's just something we make up so we have an excuse to not do or work toward what we feel we're supposed to do. That came up for me many years ago when I first started publishing my writings. People accused me of plagiarizing, that I must have written this from some other textbook or something. No, I didn't even read, so I couldn't have done that. I channeled this, but because of that one statement, I'm thinking maybe I'm an imposter. No one is. We are given exactly what we're meant to do. We just don't always come to believe that and accept it. That's all. And then the paradox. The paradox is that we move through our lives and we think that we're trying to get somewhere and be someone, except all we're trying to do is be ourselves. That's all that it is, ever. We're just trying to work through all this stuff to become who we were meant to be, and that was given to us at birth. And once we discover that, then the world changes. And in my work, what happens is I take you through every day something that's going to change your thinking about who you are. And then you're building up this momentum that causes you to feel empowered, and then you're going to start figuring out your purpose, and then you're going to start doing things. And all those other things that you wanted are going to start showing up. That's the work that I do, and I do it in the first 4 weeks, and I guarantee it because I know that it works. All you have to do is just do this little fun work, and I've made it fun because we stop at times. We don't keep going, and we aren't accountable. So I made it so you can't fail. You will be accountable. It will be enjoyable, and you will become your best self. That's why I know what you want, and it's all here. Having it is your choice.